on the Morgana in the end of last week.
Now, Joker is a Morgana one-trick of repute from years past,
yes.
But cool to see it here. Again, it makes sense against an engaged support like Alistar. I don't think that was their original plan, but the Alistar pickup, Morgana, answer in the duo lane. It also means that Clid will be able to play around other lanes. He can either baby the Vladimir or get some ganks going in mid lane and be pretty self-sufficient when it comes to bot lane plays.
And we can see the
this time for Grace. Faker is on Lissandra, so sadly, guys, we can't show you the new stuff. In fact, we promised a whole lot of new, and you know what? Papa keeps his promises. We've got a long week ahead of us, but game number one,
you gotta ease him into it, Papa Smith. You gotta ease him into it.
Everyone gets a mulligan, and we'll call game one a mulligan.
Yeah, game one. We're still gonna be checking out a few things here because the Ezreal change is live, so we'll see how that goes in the hands of Teddy here in game number one. Jin are going to get some priority here in this bottom side of the map.
So C saw Faker, and he saw that a ward had been placed recently, but he doesn't know that Clid's behind him. He doesn't have that extra information because he saw Faker, so Clid is actually unscouted.
This is a secret agent Jarvan right now as Root and Kellen are going to move into lane. Completely unbeknownst to them is Clid down here. Can he get the flag and drag? Will he use the flash? There he is, doesn't even need to as Kellen. He knows that he's dead, gets the aftershock. Oh, the last auto attack is going to come in from Martyr is now Faker. Swifty boots on, even though he hasn't purchased them yet, dodges the cocoon and keeps himself alive.
There's swift moves from Faker to stay alive, but later, in terms of how long ago it was placed, there was that off chance it was the jungler. We knew it was a confirmed jungler ward, and that means that completely unspotted is Clid. Alistar was very surprised to find a Prince behind him.
Yeah, he almost made the great escape. I mean, the flash was there, but unfortunately for him, Martyr had already queued up the auto attack. He's not actually able to make it out, so Kellen, a little bit robbed, but SKT with a fantastic gank on the bottom side of the map, and I love seeing this, just smart play out of this team. SKT, they don't necessarily need to try super hard.
It's opting into very strong ganking junglers come level 2 or level 3, respectively, so kind of nice to see swing matchups, because there's a lot of matchups that are much more 55-45 than, say, 70-30, so cool to see little changes like that.
Ooh, that's a nice little knock-up, but no more Uncle Dashes means that Grace is unable to follow up with the second one. Clid finds C, so look at how much damage he's taking! Cocoon is gonna miss, and I don't think C's has too many ways out here. The repel, choose your death there as Clid is gonna be able to pick up the kill, but not after dying. Grace has the world ender, but he should get taken down. The Soul Shackles is in.
Trying to wait it out.
Is looking for it. Yeah, exactly right. Faker does find the ultimate. Oh no, he short arms! The Even is still able to flash himself to safety.
Rude.
Teleport comes in from Khan, but Faker is going to go down. Aftershock or not, that is not enough as the Hemo Plague is going to do nothing to deter Jinair Green Wings. They grab a couple of kills in response to SKT. Shelly as well on the top side of the map. C's going to be able to solo that one down. They traded the Cloud Drake, but it's a Cloud Drake at this particular point in the game. Not too worried about giving that one away, so Jinair trading up. Teddy's going to be able to get himself this turret plate though, and things still going very well for SKT bottom side of the map. And he is stacking up almost with the Manamune completed.
It's worth remembering, we feel like this game is kind of with Jinair at SKT's whims in the late game. This Vladimir laning phase and make him online teamfight ready as late as possible. That means entire turret. Good focus down there. Means they get down that third plate, which means the last two will die to the charge. Teddy will eventually be able to answer on the bot side, but they're going for inner turret damage as well.
Yeah, exactly. Shelly's going to get a hell of a lot of damage here, and the power of Jace is a lot to do with being able to destroy turrets very early. So you can see that turret goes down very, very far.
And they're actually feeling strong enough to allow him to have double Dirk for poke and also Executioner's Calling. So the Executioner's Calling is a snowball choice here. It means they don't have to only group. They can try to all in, but at this timing, Jarvan's going to get that first.
Yep, Hemo Plague is going to come up. That's already a lot of damage down. He wants the Crimson Rush. The flash comes in from Khan, but doesn't get the Tides of Blood. Clid has his flash, though. The Cataclysm comes in and sees. Can't get there in time.
Flashing upwards for a Boots 1 jungler to get you there. Wasn't actually going to buy this.
But doesn't take it, which is lucky. This season's here in this mid lane. Martyr taking a lot of damage there, bottom side. As the Culling's just going to do it. That was the combo, and Teddy might be in trouble here as well. He flashes away, but it's not enough. Double kill comes in for Root, who's down to about 150 health, but it doesn't matter.
He could even kite up.
Oh, Bounty now on top of Root, or 300 gold. Should we transition the language around it here as well? Should we say 300 gold Bounty? What do you think? What's your idea?
I think the Bounty is the bonus gold, 300.
That one away. I don't know whether SKT are going to throw in too many chips into this particular pool, because it's the second Cloud Drake, and they're not too worried about it. Okay, we are only going to have...
Sure, in the next 7 minutes or so, they don't allow Jin Air a Baron by taking a poor team fight before their items are ready. But this dive, it's happened now.
Yep, that's a fantastic knock-up. The Cataclysm is going to come in there, and there is nothing that Linderung can do. A lot of money was on his back as well. It is the Jarvan that grabs that kill. Vladimir was bottom side of the map, but Faker's going to get an assist. That ain't a great...
You're going to have it nice and early. That's a nice way to use your snowball lead, because you do damage and dive hard. Speaking of diving...
Yeah, big flash cocoon into a minion there from C's. Bad news bears, most likely, but Grace does still get a flash out of Faker. He's still walking, but he's walking quickly enough to get out of the way of the World Ender and the flash from the Aatrox.
Now, we don't have a listen-in, but you would assume there was a very decisive... is now reflected in pro games and Korea.
So when we say they have a bounty of this, then that's exactly what it means.
700 is the old 1,000.
Oh, the flash in! Teddy actually going to be able to get out of there with just the Arcane Shift as Root throws down his QSS. I think that was before the Soul Shackles actually went off, unless he Captain Jacked it.
I believe he Captain Jacked it. I'm going to give him full credit there. We'll get a replay maybe to confirm that. But he's feeling pretty good, Atlas. They're trying to push up. They're feeling like now's the time, but now multiple flashes are down. And Faker might be licking his lips and saying, I'm going to make someone pay for it.
Yep, Black Shield not available. As you can see, Faker he claws out though, so not going to start any fights. Here are SKT. They understand.
I actually wonder, what's a longer range go shot these days? Lee Sin Q max range or Cocoon max range? It might be Lee Sin Q by about 100 units
I think it is after the buff a little while ago.
They're both very long, so I was just inspecting that from the side brush. They would hit Ezreal in the middle of the lane. Speaking of the middle of the lane.
Yeah, Marta has to flash. Has to get out of the way of those Infernal Chains, and he's so squishy with this Ardent Sensor build.
I'm going to say this. Control. Forcing Marta onto this far back on his champion core, he looks pretty uncomfortable this game. So It does feel like Marta, with so many engaged supports taken down, does feel a little bit out of his comfort on Morgana. He's been caught too many times based on our usual high expectations.
Well, Faker actually spotted on a ward down here, so Jinna with full information. Claude takes him over. I don't know whether Jinna actually saw that one. But SKT now split in a 3-2. Back going to come in, but all of that information given down by the human ward that is Linderung. Face first into the cocoon as Clit takes a volatile Spiderling, but otherwise isn't going to be too worried. Shock Blast lands onto Khan, but he's got a lot of ability to repair himself. Now SKT thinking about this red steal. Grace comes down, Clit just flags and drags his way in. Brute Force is going to be able to grab him that red buff. Jinna can't actually offer too much back as Teddy's sneaking in a lot of these Qs. That damage is going to add up as C's down to half health.
And this is a mostly neutral slight advantage SKT trade at a time when Jinna should be at their strongest. So we're still liking this for SKT. They're going to try and take the Mountain Drake and repel a mid lane push. However, it's pretty healthy, so they should be fine.
Yeah, it's actually a really great claw to come in there from Faker, because if Jinna had have made any aggressive plays towards the turret, then he would have had a fantastic opportunity for a 5-man Ring of Frost. So SKT use that. They grab themselves the Mountain Drake. A lot of trouble here as he's by himself under the turret. Marta moves up. Kellen has to get over here. I believe that was a Hex Flash, but he's now got his flash on cooldown, definitely.
Remember your ARAM tier list. Lucian and Alistair down as his engage.
Oh no, that's just going to be the cocoon right into the Black Shield as Faker wanting a re-engage. Does actually get down there. Steady just pops the Aatrox. Didn't even have time to use the World Ender as a Frozen Thrall. Stops any sort of engagement from Jinna. And our SKT just going to run to the Baron.
ARAM team list confirmed. This is why they were just playing through the mid lane. Ezreal can poke out turrets, poke out health bars, and now they just all in on the Baron. And unfortunately, Jinna, they might have just given this one up.
Yep, this is exactly what we were talking about before. Jinna weren't allowed to let the game get to this point. The Baron just gets shredded. Mountain Drake was in there, but SKT had no contest from Jinna whatsoever. And this game went from what you were talking about, very slow and steady for SKT, to just an explosion. One pick turns into a Baron, and now it just really looks like Jinna don't have a way back in.
If you're a 10th place team, you have to pick your poison. Do you pick a lens on you? Can you do any of that kind of tenor, kind of like really deep?
I mean, I used to be better at it than I am now.
I'd love to hear it, Atlas. Maybe I'll script something out.
Yeah, maybe we can save that for your private content on maybe your stream instead of putting it on the LCK.
I'm all about my private content, Atlas.
I didn't realize that came out real badly. Okay, SKT going to move into a 1-1-3 as this game moves on, as Root looking for Khan. Actually doing a lot of damage here, but the pull is still available. And he's still going aggressive. Will move his way out. The Hemo play gives Khan a whole bunch of his health bar back as Kellen Root down to about half health. Teddy moves in, does land the Q, lands the second Clid, looking for the flag and drag. Just Cataclysms, gets the passive on the auto, takes down the cow very easily as now Grace is fighting Faker, and the World End is going to get weighted out, but it's a great knock-up, and Grace gets a solo kill.
It might unfortunately only have to be a small silver lining because their base is in tatters.
Yeah, Faker wants to give something back here to Jinair. At the very end, Khan goes into stasis as Linderung very far up. You can see Teddy just going so aggressively though, as sees the Spiderlings trying to save him, and will do as he makes his way back to the fountain. 2 inhibitors have been taken down. SKT are missing them.
So far ahead. Didn't have it, and it hasn't even been Vladimir related, right? It was just Teddy popping off in some ARAM scenarios and Jinair not being able to actually get a lead. Free Baron into now 2 inhibitors down, and we're kind of waiting for SKT to dot their I's, cross their T's, and take us game number 2.
Yep, Caesar's looking for a flank, but he's going to be spotted on that control ward. Faker moves on in here as well. They just want to take him down because they know with Baron up, it's another minute and a half, actually. Getting a little bit ahead of myself here as Teddy. He's heading forward, but Black Shield is going to be available. Kellen maybe too far up as the True Shot Barrage doesn't hit for quite as much this stage of the game, but still feels like hell for Kellen. The ultimate has to be used, and that means that's a tool that's not going to be in their Grace. Has found Faker one more time. As Vladimir may have turned up to this series now as he goes into stasis under Nexus turrets. Of all things, is going to avoid all of that extra damage. Now the World Ender is going to come in. I'm sorry, Grace, you're not going to do it 2 times in a row against Faker. See your death, Miss Spider Lady, and Faker's going to be able to pick up the kill under Seas. SKT should be able to take down some Nexus turrets and really put a dent in this series very early on against Jinair. The flash from Faker. The kill's going to go down under Linderung as Grace tries to get back towards the fountain. It's not going to matter. Nexus is going to go down, and SKT so much mid-game damage. Got his 2-item power spike, got his 3-item, then his 4-item, and then was just completely immovable. And used that to propel them towards that very early Baron and a very... Oh my goodness, some just crazy stuff.
Well, the reverse matchup potential was there to go in the mid lane Aatrox, but Sion would make more sense from what we saw recently. If you remember, Griffin played very similar style, going back to Sion mid lane against Lissandra, purely because Lissandra ain't going to kill Sion, and you can counter roam.
This is almost exactly the same composition. Coming out from Griffin.
Goes on, they'll have considerations, but this is the SKT style I've liked the most, is their ability to abuse early game and close games rather than their ability to try to scale into the late game. They've already shown some scaling in game number 1. This is one where I want to watch the clock and say, okay, SKT, if you want to actually impress in this series, show us that you can just overwhelm the enemy before Vayne can even get 2 items.
Yeah, and I think this is a game where Clid has to pop off as well because they don't necessarily have winning lanes, but they have lanes that can help with a gank extraordinarily well. Their gank assist on all of these champions is disgusting, and that's how we saw Griffin actually manage to dismantle Damwon in that example. Let's see whether SKT can do the same thing in game number 2. Okay, and the confirmation was that it was a Kai'Sa paired with the Galio, and that was the only difference between Griffin and SKT's composition here in this game.
But a very mean
of lane control after you've maxed out that Q. Very early on in this game, though, Seas, you can see, setting up for a level 2 gank.
Fake leash topside by SK Telecom. Aatrox spending a bit of time at the blue buff before going up. So because of that fake leash, let's see what happens.
Yep, there's the flash pulverize. They're looking for Teddy, and they'll find him. It's a decent taunt, but it is not enough. And first blood goes to the Vayne.
Just super assertive that Super gave them all the information they needed, and they pick up first blood. Nice move, Jinair.
Really, really good stuff. And I like that they just got in there with the pulverized flash as well. Guaranteed CC. And Teddy doesn't have cleanse. He has no way of getting out of that because it's a knock-up anyway. And Kellen's just having fun with his Hex Splash now, not even needing to give up too much, given the fact that he's taken that particular room.
But it's Jinair, nice and tricky, and even though SKT were doing the mind games with the fake leash, they say onto Vayne and get her to 2 items as early as possible before SKT can use their comp to bulldoze them. So given that, and how many people can pack up, I understand it. Here we go.
Yeah, there's the flash in. This is a level 5 Alistar. Has to use the flash in order to get himself out, but Namada is going to get knocked up. Teddy picks it up with the Ren stack, but they do trade it as now Seas going aggressively. Clid offering more damage back. Teddy needs to be respected though, and speaking of respect, Faker down to 200 health in the mid lane as Grace flashes forward, but he queues too early and doesn't pick up the kill.
So unfortunate. I believe Faker had to go up the lane to interrupt the teleport from Grace, which wasn't actually able to be completed. Almost solo killed in the procedure, but it ends up being 1-for-1 after all.
Yep, no summoner spells left in that mid lane, which is good for both of these junglers as Tana's taking a lot of damage up towards the top side. That's a great reset though with the flawless duet, and now we're still fighting Faker. Oh my goodness, the knockup isn't going to come in. Not in time, but they might be able to get the trade kill as topside Tana has killed the Aatrox under the turret, and Faker gets one back. Tana going to be way more lucky though, walks away with 150.
An eventual trade kill in the mid lane, but as wow, big moments from the Jin solo lane.
Yes, absolutely fantastic. It all started here down towards the bottom side of the map. Teddy was very lucky to be able to pick up this Rend kill as Marta gets knocked back right into C's. As you can see, that kill just delivered on a silver platter. And Jin go for 1-for-1, another kill for the Vayne.
So it's an interrupt by Faker just with a Q. He hadn't flashed or ulted at this point in the mid lane that stops the Lissandra from making that a 2-for-1 or potentially even more. Let's watch the top side because Khan, this is when we came to the play, when the first bit of damage came in, but watch the turns from Tana. This is actually super slick play. And then gets the level up to get enough mana to all in. Actually chased for this skill, speaking of kills.
Oh, and no Bloodwell onto Khan. That was the problem as Tana gets the reset and gets out. But Noble, before that scaling on the Infernal is as relevant.
Main ward from Khan, not available this time, Atlas, and this is the picture-in-picture play. It's not perfect from Jin Air, but they're just able, with no Khan ultimate, to find that second kill. It's actually picture-in-picture again. This Rift Herald, I didn't even know who it went to.
Yeah, heroic entrance is going to come down here as Faker picks up the kill onto C's. Grace did manage to pick up the Rift Herald, but he's going to get cocooned. Clid snipes him out in the backline now as Faker is very low. Clid is extremely squishy. Great double knockup. Comes in from Kellen, who keeps himself alive for so long. Vanguard's Edge now comes forward as Root turns up from the bottom side. Will get a condemn back, but Faker is already dead at this point in time. And Jin Air, the map for Jin Air Green Wings.
And it's a very consequential execute as well, Atlas, because it's when Jarvan died to monsters, right? So they know Jarvan can't be there. That means the freebie to SKT. They will lose top lane turret, but after all the plates are down. And SKT, remember, they're trying to hit the mid-game running. They're definitely tripping up in their execution, getting to that point. But the Infernal is the kind stranger, picking you up a couple of times and maybe allowing SKT a more even team fight than they deserve.
Yeah, one of the scary things is here for... Okay, this is looking good for Khan. Throws down the World Ender. Vanguard's Edge is in there. Tana's trying to fight this one back, but it's not going to work. The flash, I don't know where he thought he was going. That knockup is all around you. As Khan picks up the solo into the death chamber.
It was the darkness. That's what's happened in the mid lane. This is why the play started.
No.
That's important. So Faker actually, the reason he almost dies to begin this play is interrupting Rift Herald. Thank you for the 200 IQ. Korean observing there to make sense of why Faker was so far down the lane. However, I would love to see the HP bar here. I believe it's single digit. Here's C's. He's trying to seize the day, or the red buff, or the bramble pit, or the party, as we talked about. Let's watch this one. So he's down to 200 health. Let's watch him die. We're gonna watch how close is it, Atlas? Is it one order?
Oh, he gets to 1 health! Oh my
Holy
God,
crap!
it's a disaster!
How many people are staring down the light at the end of the tunnel? It was literally the bramble as well!
Oh, that's so bad. And then also, I take it all back. He doesn't deserve the kind of hatred that we gave him for dying.
This red buff deserves a name. What is the name of Jin's red buff? As we'll have to hold the point for that.
Yeah, we will. I'll keep it in mind as the Unbreakable Will does go down from Kellen, but now Root has a lot of damage. Faker is in there, gets headbutted back. I think the Scion is going to die, but SKT grabbed the first one onto Tana. Faker trades his life back, but now will be Zombie Scion, but not enough to go for the dive here against Jin Air.
Only 4 members of Jin Air defending though, so they didn't have Lissandra involved and still were able to trade 1-for-1. A third Infernal is spawning. Jin Air, it feels like stopping that from going to SKT is maybe their ticket to get in the 50-50 fight that should favor the Vayne comp.
Yeah, the thing that's really scary though is you can understand why Jin Air aren't going for these early game team fights around objectives like the Dragon. just because their composition isn't as good at it. As SKTs, as Grace is looking for Clid, doesn't find the last tick. On
very much about killing C's if C's the only person he can order.
Yeah, also Tana as well, as we've got a fight on the bottom side. Teddy gets out of the Cataclysm as now he's trying to dance away from the Jin Air players. Does so effectively. That's the problem with Kalista. If you don't kill him with your burst, you're not going to kill her at all.
Really weird flash.
Landing there from Faker, you know that Vayne has a great time smacking down on a Scion. And now SKT are going to start off this Dragon. Jin Air caught napping a little bit there in the mid lane as Faker not able to actually go back and doesn't have the teleporters. Oh no! Going for the flank and Grace just gets punished.
Lane ward there was the big reason SKT got that pick. The CC duration, the CC overlapping was way earlier than Grace was aware. Grace taken down, full CC bars, no ability to self-ult, and SKT do get that much-needed third Infernal. Hasn't autoed yet. You have insanely more damage, whether you're Kalista or Vayne.
Faker's just tanking up a turret. The Cocoon is going to go wide, though, as Grace explodes! Oh my god, that damage is insane as Clid didn't want to pick up the turret aggro. Grace survives with a sliver of health.
Yeah, two different options there. Actually use the aggressive ultimate rather than the self-ult and live.
Skill shot is going to miss, and now C's could be in line for a 2 versus 1 against the Aatrox, and SKT have decided they'll take advantage of it by taking down a Baron at 25 minutes into the game. Triple Infernals in hand.
And Khan's not allowing the Jarvan to get out of the dance pit. He's going to have to stick around, and here's TP.
Yep, Fate's call comes in, but Tana does avoid. Oh, not enough, as Teddy's just going to be able to execute him. Now Grace, with not too much more than an Aftershock that has worn off, now has to use the Claw to get out. Faker, no ultimate available, but Khan's looking for the flank. Good knock up there onto Kellen. Double knock up comes in from Khan, and this is the team fight comp that SKT has. The J4 gets obliterated. Who's trapped in there with who is Root has finally got himself into a position where he can carry the flash forward, the stopwatch, but Teddy has nowhere to go. Oh my god, he finds the cow. Root's able to grab the 1,000 gold as the bounty comes in. But Clid, he does have full vision of this area. Jin Air not going to be able to go for a Baron or anything like that, but this is a huge Vayne now.
Game where Root is going to have to be the hard carry. Watch the replay here. Remember the dance moves that started this play for SKT. Tana couldn't actually match it on the dance floor. We know who is the true king. It's in fact SKT Donga, better known as Khan. Yeah. On the re-engage, remember it's 5v4 and Aatrox is going to be spotted, I believe, at the start of the vision here. You see the first kill go down, and you're like, aha, this is the fight for SKT. But remember that Root gets going, gets warmed up, gets going, and sadly, Root died.
Yeah. Well, so he just didn't quite get as going as we thought he did.
He did in this play, but the picture-in-picture actually
just watch the big screen, guys. Nice work, Root. Really, really well done. And we're going to go back to live and just ignore the fact that he's a grey icon.
If we were OPL casters and Root was in our league, we could say a lot of fun things. But we won't. Here's the replay. That is what we call a greedy back spot, better known as a bad teleport spot for an AD carry. We always think of AD carries going for bad TPs with their newfound summoner. Yeah. The back legends, though, we can laugh about it for now.
All right, Jin Air Green Wings. They're grouped up as 5. They're looking for an engagement. Grace going to throw the claw, but doesn't find too much more. Exactly right. C stopped from heading forward as Clid is looking for him. No taunt to land, but he loses half his health bar and his Gargoyle Stone Plate. Root has no summoner spells in this fight, but Kellen does. He might need to be the peel that the Vayne needs.
It's so weird, but I'm always watching to see if both the AD carries have minions alive to auto. You might almost don't want to wave clear so that if you can find a flash headbutt pulverize, Ginsu's Rage Vayne able to enter the fight and just do so much more damage so quickly. We're seeing the map split up a little bit. Backing on a ward is Faker, I believe. He hasn't spotted that one. It does now, and maybe was just fading around the top side of the screen.
Yeah, moves into that brush. Voltar Spiderling doing some damage here as Banshee's Veil is done for Clid. It's actually very good news for the very squishy Elise. It's just posturing here at this stage of the game.
Around Baron, so SKT make the measured read. It's correct.
Yep. 3 items on both of our top laners actually says a lot more for Khan, who struggled in the laning phase. The Baron has been started though, and Jin Air do have a lot of damage. Root has to be respected in this Baron pivot. You can see it's no surprise to SKT. Should be a 50-50 as Clid's going to come in. Sees, jumps over, tries to lock down Teddy, but this is the J4. The triple knock-up comes in as Teddy's able to grab that first kill. He gets knocked up by Kellen, but where's the follow-up damage? It is absent from this fight. Root is still alive. He's tumbling forward so far, but he's going to die. Clid grabs that kill, and now Jin Air is trying to fight back. Double kill for the Aurelia. The flawless duet. Faker is going to go down. It's a triple kill. Can he get the penta? Tana gets the quadra. And now he's going to be able to get it. Tana just steps on it. Linderung was there. But now the Aurelia saved the game.
Khan will be the buzzkill, no pentakill, but still a big moment for Jinner. You see how tricky it is to keep on top of Vayne and Aurelia in a team fight. Root was warmed up. I don't know if Ginsu Rage was maintained on the turn. Cease goes in, while Root is actually awkwardly stunned and doesn't get any orders. So I believe he drops Ginsu's Rage, but maybe the time at which Jinner naturally should have a teamfight advantage has been reached, because even with all the Infernals in a very close-knit fight, the health bars on SKT don't mean as much as we first assumed.
Oh, Tana is just so incredibly good. I lost my mind watching him. Every flawless duet was exactly that, utterly flawless. And after missing so many of his skill shots in the previous engagement against Khan, this was just... But yeah, Root actually tumbling forward and just getting incidentally destroyed, I think, by a volatile Spiderling was a bit of a problem. They'll get another go at it here as Grace in great flanking position. Good double knock up there from Khan, and here's the turn from Jinner. Khan goes into World Ender. He's around 4 members of Jinner is stacked completely up, and he's going to go down, and now Faker has to use the ultimate in order to get out. It's a decent use of the Cocoon to try and keep them alive, but Jinner are back on the Baron with 5 members in comparison to the 4.
Rinse and repeat, but look at this. Turn ultimates on the Sandra and Aurelia are up. So it's difficult for SKT to make much happen here. Maybe a Fate's call to open it, or maybe just give up Baron.
Yep, they are going to. They're going to trade it for an outer turret in the mid lane, and this is a huge moment for Jinner Green Wings. SKT just didn't have any options.
Because those ults are up, the turn from Jinner is much stronger than SKT can deal with as a 4-member squad. That's why they have to show respect. If they needed to invest, let's Teddy tries to keep up Ginsu's Rage in order so he can. Vayne's going to do more damage. It feels like the rich man's Vayne is working out, and SKT need to redefine it with some creative engage to stop Root from getting going. Here's that creative engage.
Yeah, they're going to dive on forward, but it's straight into analysis. Not exactly the target you want. Another Cataclysm is going to break Khan off from this fight as Root. He's going to come in, but Khan is looking for it, gets him down to the stopwatches. Root's not going to survive. Glid takes him down, and now SKT have got the turn. Jinner, unfortunately, a misplay in the team fight that was going so well.
3650 is your Vayne spotting timer. Unfortunately, Root is just feeling too empowered. His summoners are up, he can go in. No, he actually ends up going in far too boldly, and SKT might just win.
Yeah, exactly right. Remember, this is 37 minutes into the game. Triple Infernal on SKT. They can tank turrets forever, and they got 5 members still alive. Teddy's got 5 items, and what a way to go down for Jinner. Tana almost with a pentacle in the last fight. They had the Vayne composition, they had the late game, but they didn't have the finesse. In these team fights, they're going to go for one last ditch effort as Tana goes down to Hysterics very early on, but he gets rendered. They do deal with the minion wave, and SKT, it looks like they're not going to win just yet, but they might be able to get this follow-up kill. Infernal Chains is going to get rid of him. See you later, C's. You are going to be falling here. That was a really cute follow flash there from Khan, but Kellen gets into position.
C's living there actually means their reset around Elder Dragon is going to be much less delayed. The face check here would have been criminal from Root. He thinks better of it. Man, there's so many people lying in wait. They're all chomping at the bit at
well. Yeah, Marta's looking for it. Doesn't blow the flash on an Alistar. I like that play. Unbreakable Will is still there. Final hours pop now from Root. Can he get value? You can see he's playing very far back. Grace is going to go into his own ultimate, but can Jinner get into position? The answer is no, and SKT get another free one. Flawless duet doesn't actually arm. Jinner waiting for it. Faker with another ultimate, but it's onto the cow yet again. Headbutt pulverized, lands onto the front line. Khan is going to be able to get rid of him, but sees in the back line another Cataclysm in decent position, but Teddy is going to take him down. Root cannot find the free auto attacks. He's just taking too much damage. Double kill for Teddy. And this will be the end of the game, and the 2-0 from SKT. Tana with a heroic effort, but he's going to spell the triple kill for the Callista and the ace for SKT.
It's an LCK Spring, 29 story as old as time. Jinner, unfortunately, your faith in them in the late game is misplaced. They will eventually make that execution mistake, and Root going down means there's no longer a 5v5. No longer can they be about baiting Baron and turning with a 6-stack Ginsu